Welcome to another edition of Hey Bobby with Senior VP of the Cleveland Guardians, Bob DiBiasio. Takes time to join us on a weekly basis throughout the baseball season, and it's been a joy talking with Bobby again this season, from rules and regulations to the players to the managers to the team to baseball history. And it's kind of when him and I get together and share a pizza pie, we just take it to you on the video and the audio. But Bobby, I wanted to concentrate on our guy Terry Francona today. The general feeling is that he's going to probably step down after the season. He hasn't made it official, but all indications going that way. And I know tonight the team is celebrating Terry Francona, and you have a special relationship with this guy who I think is going to have a rich legacy years to come and already as manager of our ball club. And thought we'd start right there with you, Bobby, and your general feelings. First of all, is Terry not the manager, but Terry Francona the person?
Yeah, Ray, it's not easy. We're going to miss him terribly. And if I can be selfish and speak about it from a personal perspective for a moment, I got to know his father well through old timers games back when equitable old timers games were a huge thing at ballparks, and Tito would always play in him because he wanted to come back and see his buddies Herb Score and Sam McDowell and Rocky, and just to be around those guys that I grew up idolizing and adoring just made my job such a remarkably wonderful thing. And you get to know Terry, and in one of our first fantasy camps we had both Terry and Tito as part of our coaching staff, and with Herbie and them, and it just was one of those wonderful opportunities that I was able to really connect his dad back to his son when he was the manager of this baseball team. I was the guy who was in charge, and I'd hate to use the word babysit, but I was in charge of when Tito would come over from New Brighton, PA, and hang out with his dad in his office and bring a couple friends. And when Tito Sr. would walk through the clubhouse and see how the players adored Tito's dad, that's the kind of stuff I will remember most, despite all the wonderful things he did for this franchise for 11 years. That personal connection of seeing a father and a son, it's just incredibly special.
As the manager, I remember my first year out in Arizona when Tito, it's his first year, and it was this first press conference. And I happened to be there, and there was people in the media saying, well, Terry, why did you pick Cleveland to go to? And his response, I remember to this day, is, why not? I didn't come here to die. I came here to win.
Right.
And I remember the media was like all over him because why are you taking Cleveland when you had managed Boston? And he said, why not? I've got a great relationship with Chris Antonetti. I love Cleveland, and I'm coming here to win. And he's done that. And he's really taking our franchise to levels. I think he's the best manager in the game. And I'll let you take it from there. Talk about him as a manager, my friend.
Well, when he joined us, it provided our organization in 2013 instant credibility in that clubhouse. As you said, media were wondering why he would go from a major market ball club, that had excess of revenues, to a middle market baseball team where all of us in the middle market have an economic reality that's we have to deal with. And it's not unique to Cleveland. It's all 15, 16 middle market baseball teams. But when he joined us in 2013, we had a 24 game improvement over the year before. Just with him walking through that clubhouse door and putting us on the right path to a winning culture. It was the largest year-to-year improvement in franchise history. And I think one of the things that just remarkable about his skill set as a leader of a ball club is the fact that no matter, Ray, if he has a young team, team full of superstars, veterans, a mix of both, he found a way to win. He found a way to connect with everybody who was inside that clubhouse. Again, no matter the makeup of the roster. He wasn't one of those guys who had to manage a big market, high priced team with the expectations of winning. He just, with us, youngest team in baseball the last 2 years. And this year didn't go the way we wanted it to go, but he certainly put us on a path to winning, especially in the 2022 season. So I think he just found a way to win with no matter what type of team that he was given.
It's interesting, and I hate to put them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You mentioned the season of 2022. I actually think, and you heard me say, I think Terry's the best manager in baseball. I think that season of 2022 may have been his best year of managing this Cleveland team because it was so young and there was question marks and how are they going to win with this lineup? And he looked like he had a ball with those young guys. I think that season of 2022 was not only good for Cleveland and our organization, but really good for him.
No, I agree. He talked a lot that year, last year, about teaching. He got back into teaching the game a little bit more than normal for a manager. That's not always what a manager's role is. That's why they have a large coaching staff to handle those sorts of things. But then he would get involved in that, and it just being, again, he always talks about, I don't know if there's anybody out there who loves baseball more than I do. Certainly people may love it as much as I do, but I don't know if there's anybody who loves it more than I do. And teaching the game was part of that. So that challenge of bringing a young team together, knowing we had a really good pitching staff, that we had a bullpen that we thought would be able to get the job done on a consistent basis. And then how are we going to go about playing really solid, consistent defense behind that good pitching, and then scratch out enough runs to win our share of games, and we won 92. The things that we've talked about, Ray, over the course of the years when it comes to leadership, there's 3 elements to Terry Francona that I absolutely believe. I don't know if anyone else in the organization agrees with me, if Chris Antonetti or Mike Chernoff or whomever agree with me, in the sense of these are the 3 most important things that I've witnessed in the 11 years of Tito's leadership of this franchise. First and foremost, he's authentic. Man alive. If you didn't see that, if you had the option or the opportunity, I should say, to see the little film that was on MLB Network on Terry, you saw a guy a very genuine, authentic man. And any leader who tries to be somebody they are not, no matter what walk of life, no matter what business, and specifically in our world, players will see through a guy who is not genuine, who is not authentic. The second thing that I thought was pretty cool, because it was a little bit of a different change from the managers we had prior. Specifically the two prior to him, he embraced individuality. You wanted to wear a chain, you wanted to have blue hair, you wanted, he didn't care. Because as a former player who was a #1 draft pick, who was a star coming out of college, and then had knee surgeries back in the 80s when those weren't as easy as they are today or as nearly as effective, he understood what it took to hang on for 10 years in the big leagues. So he embraced the individuality of guys, knowing that there was something in their heart, in their soul about the game of baseball that got them to be a big leaguer. And he's not going to worry about whether you have a beard, what color your hair is, if you wear a chain. If in fact you do the two things basic fundamentals that he asked of you, with a number of things underneath it, but one, show up on time, which means be respectful to the game, your organization, and your teammates, and give your best effort, which is also a respect to the game itself and to your teammates. Now, underneath that, there's a whole lot of things. Get your sleep, eat right, practice hard, all the things that are necessary to stay as a effective and for some, like Jose Ramirez, to be an elite performer in the big leagues. And then lastly, service to others. I just have not seen a guy who cares less about himself in a leadership role than Terry. He cares more about the guy that's sitting outside our clubhouse in the service level than he does himself, the clubhouse kids. Certainly all his players and coaches matter more to him than he looks upon himself. So service to others is a remarkable trait of a wonderful leader, an effective, efficient leader, knowing that it's service to others that matters the most. So being authentic, embracing individuality, and service to others, I think that's what kept him a skipper for 23 years in our business, which is, very rare, and certainly his path to Cooperstown.
There you go. Senior VP with the Cleveland Guardians, Bob DiBiasio, with us, looking at the legacy of Terry Francona. And again, the organization is certainly honoring him with a special presentation coming up tonight at the ballpark. I'm Ray Horner. Bobby, as always, my man, thank you for the time, making it special for us at WAKR. Always appreciate it.
Thank you, Ray. Go Guardians.